Hello, everybody. Forgive my voice. I don't know if I'm coming down with something or what, but yeah, it's going to be one of those days today. I'm just going to take it easy and play video games until I can't see, or learn rules. That seems to be a commonplace thing. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I hope. If somebody can just let me know that they can hear me, because I decided to just go with the camera off the computer. Hey Rob, what's your PSN? What's a PSN? Can you hear me? That'd be a great start. Boy, I got a lot to cover. Oh, I can hear you perfect. Thank you, my brother. You the man. Yes, I am audible. Thank you. So, weird week. A lot to talk about. A lot of things I'm excited about. PlayStation Network username. Oh God, I think it's Nova Prime 860. It's Nova Prime 860. I'm pretty sure. Audio is clipping, though. What do you mean by clipping? Like stuttering, like that. You know, I really hate the internet. Oh, too loud. Okay, I can fix that. I can fix that. Hold on. I am too close to the microphone. Hold on, folks. How's that? Is that better? Back off on my gain a little bit. There we go. All right, it's not going into red anymore. And I can barely talk, too. Is that better? Victor? Hopefully it is. All right, so... all right, cool. Thank you. So, a couple of things. Monday, I had to go into work for the first time in a long time, and I had to take care of a few things, which means I was able to go and print out Golden Turtle's newest book, which is the Adventurer. It's part of the Drifter series. So I've got to bind that up. I've been reading it, trying to figure it out so I can shoot a video for him, because I love that guy, everything that he did. I love the Drifter. I love, and now we finally got a fantasy version of Drifter, which is really, really good. Thus far as I'm going through it. Not a ton of changes, which I like, and it's a very story-driven game. The other thing is, I have a pile of Elden Ring sitting over there that I have to go through, and a pile of stuff over here as well. So what does that mean? Okay, especially with the title, "The King is Dead, Long Live the King." Well, it kind of reminds me of a situation where, when you've done what you've done, as the ruler of this channel, more or less, and it's time for a new, fresh perspective, but yet the same. I'm going back to real basics as I really start to clean out things here. I'm excited about, because it doesn't look like it right now, but I said this was going to be my last auction, maybe one more, on top of this, and I think I've got it under control. I already started making videos about what I'm keeping, and what I'm excited about. Um, because the less I have, the more I think I bring to the table as far as playthroughs, which starting May 1st, okay, you're going to want to jump on board. Starting May 1st, you're going to start seeing playthroughs of stuff. I've already taped a bunch of stuff. So during the weeks, you're going to see, a couple of videos of playthroughs. Am I still going to review stuff? Yes, because I think, my opinion, for some people really helps them. And getting my stuff organized and being able to, thanks to Miniature Market and GMT and CMON and some of the other companies that support the channel, still, which is shocking. Excuse me, boy, I'm coming down with something. I'm able to bring you some of this stuff. And I still want to do my VR stuff on the side, an extra video a week. If you saw this week, we did 4 videos instead of 3, plus walkthrough, my morning walks, plus this. It's quite a few videos I do a week. I want to do Too Many Bones again. I want to do Cloud Spire, which is a game I love. I want to get to the table the games that mean the most to me and do some really unique playthroughs taped, okay, because live's impossible here now. And there are games that I have that are still in the wrapper. And let's face it, okay, we're heading into a weird time, and I don't want to be political, okay? We don't know what to expect. Are the prices going to be so astronomical for a board game, or are things going to get better? I don't know. I don't have the answers, and I don't give a shit, to be honest with you, okay? All I care about is what I can do for you, okay? And if I could present older games and, as well as new games, and show you and make you make smart decisions for yourself, don't go by my word. See how I portray the game. Check some of the other great people. Check out Ricky Royal, Jay Play, a guy I absolutely enjoy watching. Okay, very few people I enjoy watching. Learn the rules through Rodney. Okay. Don't stay away from the slimy people like Barrett. Barrett's a slime ball. Okay, and I'll tell that story a few times before I'm done. Stay away from people that are an infomercial or try to sell you stuff so they can get ahead. Well, I won $10, so I got your money back for buying the ticket. Thank you. By my mother. As we know, we get an update during the stream when I buy my mother-in-law a scratch ticket every week. I buy her one every Sunday. So, one, not one. Okay, there we go. I want to cover a variance of games that mean stuff to me, but I also want to check out the new stuff, and I'm trying to, bring in new stuff. This adventurer, Golden, Ken sends this to me, and I'm very blessed that he sends it to me, so I can review it and I can make things simple for you. A nice print and play game, that you can really enjoy and get a lot of love out. I check it out. I make sure, and I make a video about it, and I like doing that stuff. You're going to see a couple things that are coming to Kickstarter, which, I'm not a fan of Kickstarter, but, Friday I did a video about a great game. It's over there, Escape from Stalingrad Z. Okay, affordable, fun, enjoyable. A lot of good stuff. that if things are going to get tough, and a lot of us are going to have to stay home and buckle down, you can't just go out there and work your asses off, okay? Come home, sleep, and then go back and do it again. Sometimes we don't have a choice. But if you can take and find some enjoyment in life and do some things, and I'm able to figure some things out, well, guess what? You know? Baron is a slime ball. Sorry, Rob. What YouTube channel is Baron Guy? Never heard of him. Barrent. I shouldn't even have said that, so I don't even want to say anything. He's a little Mickey Mouse channel that... What the heck? Hold on here, folks. I'm sorry. I'm just making sure that there's nothing going on that I have to deal with. Immortality awaits the masters. Matthew Rose, good morning. What do you have going on today? Well, quite a bit. The thing is, there are games that, like I said, if you have a chance to get away from the world, and that's what this stuff is supposed to do, then you want to make the most of your time, okay, and enjoy your time. And that is what the whole purpose of this is. So I kind of want to go back to my roots. I hadn't been able to, due to the fact, it's been 3 years, okay, this month since we've been here. And I have not been able to get things under control. And finally, I believe I've got things under control. And that move was just too much. I loved my old studio. I tried to accommodate everybody else and in the family here, because that's what I do. And I never got things organized from the moment I moved, and it affected the channel, as well as getting sick. My son getting sick. The stress of the move, the farm. A lot of things, but things are starting to fall into place if you are persistent in it and have the will not to give up. Okay, I think ultimately you're going to win. Okay, one way or another. The old saying: you can punch me in the face, but you got to keep going forward. And that's where I'm at. And right now, I'm kind of drawing some lines in the sand. And, starting May 1st, or the week of May. Hold on. When's the 1st? When's the 1st, man? That's April. The 1st is on a Thursday. Okay, so the first week of May, okay, the first week of May, you're going to see some playthroughs starting to come through. And I really enjoyed doing those. And, I'll break them up into, not make them an hour long, because those are tough to sit through. I think if I keep everything to 20 minutes, and then, maybe there's 3 or 4 parts to it, and fit it in with everything else that I do. And I think, for me, I think that puts me in a happy place. Because you got to be in a happy place to do this. You really do. And I think that'll win. For me. So, as much as we change, we stay the same. And I think that's the best thing. I used to love when you would throw a bad dice across the room in the old studio. That always cracked me up. Oh, man. I can't roll dice to save my life, unless it's for money. But you're going to see a lot of the things that mean something to me, and it's easy to play those. And then some of these newer things I'm trying to figure out. So we'll fit those in too. So there'll always be something going on, and I feel pretty good about where I'm going and how I'm doing things. And I finally got the point. Hey Rob, did you see the new version of Reich Busters? All the new changes look really good. I saw it and I kind of just turned my head from it. Um, I had painted the original. I had so many boxes of it, and I got rid of it in an auction. I made a decision. Um, to invest into that thing again, I think is just kind of tough. Um, and I think that's one that I just kind of turn ahead to, unless they want to send me a review copy, which I doubt. Um, I also tried to get a review copy of Dragon Ellipse. That looked interesting. We've got Aria, the Paths, the guy that did Zaya came out with a fantasy game. So we got that coming in this week. So I'm excited about that. And I got another weird game coming in. Something I knew nothing about. You see, that's the thing. I don't research a lot of things. When they pop up, I go, okay, that's interesting. Let's bring it in. Because, especially with any kind of video games or things like that, there's delays and there's this and there's that. Matthew, thank you. Remember, I haven't seen a Godzilla in a while. Let's see if we can make that lizard sing. Okay, I think. All right, let me dig it out. We never have to dig the big G out. We never have to dig the big G out. He's always here. Oh, now remember, you can win a Kickstarter. I have a Kickstarter that's been sitting there gathering dust. Oops, sorry about that. There are over 500 coins in here, and one of them's marked. No, not that one. Good try though, Matthew. Okay, let's see. Let's give him a Godzilla. Let's see if he gets. Oh, he got it right off the bat. Nice job, my brother. Your PSN is restricted, Rob. Restricted for what? Oh yeah, Cody Miller. Okay, yeah, I know. I heard his name. Zaya is one of my favorite games of all time. I love that game, and that's another thing. I want to do another Zaya thing. You know, I got one of the most flattering things that you can ever get when somebody that you really look up to, Ricky Royal, said, Rob Oren did probably one of the best jobs playthroughs of Zaya. And it inspired him to do a video on it. And I was thrilled with that because I have a love for Ricky that goes beyond words. He is just class all the way. Always has been. So what does your PSN is restricted? So how did I restrict my PSN? I gotta look. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Maybe uh, I got a new credit card, so it was due to re-up the thing. I just been too lazy to do it because I've been playing more VR than my PSN. Even though I was on my PlayStation last night and I was on YouTube and I saw this thing, and it was the movies that Clint Eastwood thought were the greatest movies of all time. So I decided to take a look at that because I was kind of curious. And a couple of movies that he hated. He hated The Shining. I didn't think The Shining was that good when it came out, but it ended up becoming a cult classic. It was kind of weird. I don't like what they did to Scatman Crothers because I really like that dude. I didn't think they needed to do that. But, Stephen King is Stephen King, whatever. I don't think The Shining was one of his best works. But there were a couple of movies there that I kind of thought, okay, wow, really cool. But there was one movie I never saw, and I was curious about it, and it was His Gal Friday with Cary Grant. It was a romantic comedy, and I said, and it was done by Howard Hawks. Howard Hawks, the guy who did Rio Bravo, The Thing, which is probably one of my all-time favorite movies with James Arness. I mean, I love the one with Kurt Russell. That is one of the few times that a remake was as good as the original, if not better. Excuse me. So last night, Saturday night, I decided to watch this old 40s movie from 1940. And oh my God, it was so good. It's on YouTube. You can see it for free. But the quick and witty, and how it plays out, and it's a dark comedy, and it really was a masterpiece. Cary Grant is fantastic in it. Ralph Bellamy, for some of you younger people that may have seen Trading Places, one of the old guys, one of the Dukes, was in it, and he was young and whatnot. Um, uh, the sheriff was the guy that played the judge in the original Miracle on 42nd Street. And he also played in Scrooge. He was Bob Cratchit in one of the Scrooges. It was just a phenomenal actor who has done some really great work, and he was great here too, because he always had that weaselly type of thing going on. Way to go, Godzilla pays off on the first try. Definitely going to be a good day. Should be. Hi, Rob. Have you ever played Western Legends with all the expansions? Such a great immersive game. It's basically Red Dead Redemption board game style. No, I haven't played it. And when I requested a copy, they didn't do it. And there was just so much stuff that during that time when the original came out, there were so many things that were coming out at the time. It was overwhelming. Hi, Rob. I just had a Kickstarter delivered a few weeks ago. The Hunters AD 1492. Hold on. Okay. No, I have 2114. I got the Sun Drop, but it wasn't much of a price hike for the Sun Drop, and I bought the extra mini pack, so double the. Hold on, it got cut off there. Oh, no. So double the. Well, John. Okay. Cool. Speaking of a bunch of stuff and paint stuff, tomorrow we got a massive auction starting at 11 o'clock, and it's going to next Monday, so it's going over Easter weekend. We're not ending it on Easter weekend. We'll be ending it probably about 10 a.m. on Monday. There are 11 lots, and one of my biggest lots is a painting lot. You're going to be able to get 3 airbrushes. You're going to be able to get a compressor, a bunch of airbrush paints, and a nice set. I also got the thing over there that I got to put in there. The spray, the cleaner bottle. So a ton of stuff, all kinds of different stuff, painted stuff, a lot of painted stuff, a lot of new stuff, and then two special lots that are going to be mystery lots 10 and 11. Those that pick it. Number 10 is going to be massive and a huge game that I'm going to put in there along with a couple tchotchke things, which is going to be special. But lot number 11 is actually going to be a lot where you're going to tell me what type of game you like, and if you win, I will fill up a box full of that type of game. So we got a lot of stuff going on. I'm out of figure monsters and basic heroes. So one set I'm leaving Sundrop, and I'm going to paint the other set. It seems like a cross between Fall of Avalon and Gloomhaven. Oh, that's cool, John. I picked up the Nintendo Switch, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Do you play Zelda games? I sure have. I beat them all. Oh man. Hi, Rob. Did you see Army Painter is finally coming out with a historic paint range? Looks great. So funny because Army is in their name, and I am shocked it took them this many years to come out. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, I wish I could paint the way I used to paint, but I just can't. So I'm going to try to do a little bit here or there. Um, like I said, my hand is just no good anymore. So I'm trying to. Oh wow, I'm only 30 minutes in. 8:37, not bad. So I'm trying to, you know, do a little at a time. I'm trying to get more pre-painted stuff. Um, some things I'm just gonna have to work on and try to work through the pain and the shakiness. But I'll get there. You know, you know, everything changes for people. You know, nothing stays the same. We're never the same person we were, 10 years ago. Things change. Our attitudes change. Our perspective of life changes. Our physical condition changes. Even though I'm still, thank God, keeping in that 1%. With strength and training and playing a lot of things that I do, trying to stay, you know, in your mid 60s, just trying to really get to the finish line with some grace. Um, and, it's never easy, folks. Let's just put it that way. Um, but, the other day, speaking of which, because I got more stories. So my last week, the prior week, I'm sitting there, and in November, I wanted to go see the Maple Leafs take on the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it was November 30th, and my daughter-in-law's mom decided to have this big picture thing, and I'm like, I ain't gonna do that. What the hell? She wanted the whole family to go for pictures and then go for dinner. So, against my greatest protests, unfortunately, I had to go. So I went, and I was pissed. And of course, my beloved Maple Leafs won. I thought I would have had a great time. Well, I knew that they were playing April 9th, my brother's birthday, and I forgot to call him, which I'm going to take care of when I get off this thing, because I don't think I've ever felt this bad in my life. I missed his birthday. It was just a really weird day. But I wanted to go, but my wife couldn't go with me because she had to work the next day, and it was on a Wednesday. And I said, I never saw the Maple Leafs play, even when I was up in Connecticut, and we'd go see the Hartford Whalers all the time. I could never time it where I saw my beloved Maple Leafs. So, and I've never been to Toronto to go see them. So I said, hey, you know what? It's a once in a lifetime thing. I asked my wife if I could go. Gotta ask permission. She said, yeah, go ahead. Who are you going to go with? I go, I think I'm going to ask Mimi to go, which is my youngest daughter. So I asked her, and she goes, yeah, Dad, I'll go. She goes, I don't like sports. She goes, but the only sports I like are wrestling and hockey because they fight. I go, okay. So I dug out my jersey and I got a jersey for her. And of course, she looked as cute as a button. As a matter of fact, I got a picture of us together. And I found some tickets. They weren't horribly expensive, but they were only a couple rows center ice. I said, shit, let's go for it. And I went for it. Got the tickets, got everything ready, and we started headed down to the game. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here's my little peanut. We had such a great time. Yeah, you can see we're center ice, and we're just having a great time. Here's us outside. My daughter is my life. That girl, I love that girl. She's different, but she's mine. And oh my God, we drove down and we had some time to talk because she's been going through a tough time, and which was good. And then we stopped down at Colony Grill, which in Connecticut is probably like the third or fourth place pizza of all time because it's bar pie. It's not like New Haven. It's bar pie. Bar pie is great. And they have this hot oil, and I don't get it very often. I used to go there when I was in Connecticut all the time. But they opened up a place down in Tampa and down in St. Pete. And me and my brother went during the Royal Rumble, and we ate there. And I hadn't been there in over a year. So we went down, we had pizza, and she ate the whole thing, and she was like, oh my God, this is like the best pizza in the world. I go, you're damn right it is. And then we brought like 6 pizzas home, so they sat in the car. So for the last 4 days, I've been eating nothing but Colony Grill pizza. And then, we headed over to the game, no problems. We parked. And we sat out. The weather was perfect, so you get your hockey sweater on in April in Florida. I remember going to WrestleMania April 2nd. It was 95 degrees, and we were dying there. Me and a friend of mine, and it was just perfect. So we get in there, the game starts going on, and I go, you know what? If they look, because it was a big game. It was for the Atlantic Conference, and if we could win that game, we pretty much got the Atlantic in the bag there. It'd be kind of hard with only 4 games left, and we're having a great time. And right off the bat, the Maple Leafs go up 2-0. I go, uh-oh. I go, they need about 3 more. I go, no, in the Maple Leafs. Sure enough, Tampa, horrible calls against the Maple Leafs. Tampa gets 1. It's 2-1. We go into the second period. Okay? No score, but just fighting, punching. My daughter's loving it. In between when there's time out there playing music, she's up and dancing, and everybody around there was getting a kick out of her because she don't care. She's going to do her thing. And everybody, here's this girl that just, lights up a room wherever she goes. And then there was a bad penalty towards the end of the second period, and there was still a minute left in the power play into the third period. And sure enough, Tampa scores. Now it's 2-2. Then we finally get a penalty call because Tampa's been cheating the whole time for hooking. And we score. So now it's 3-2. Then this ridiculous call for cross-checking, which was ridiculous. And then the fight broke out. And then everybody's getting set in the box. And, of course, there's a man advantage for Tampa. They scored. It's 3-3. The game ends in a tie. And I go, all right, I can handle that. We're going to overtime. I go, as long as we got that 1 point, we'll still be in the lead in the Atlantic, We're not leaving here with you know, in horrible shape if we lose the game. Well, it's 3-on-3, and you want to talk about exciting hockey. 3-on-3. Tampa comes down, and they get a breakaway, and our boy Stolars makes this like ridiculous save. Okay, then they get the puck back, and they just miss it wide, and then Tampa comes back the other way. The Maple Leafs come back the other way, and they take a shot, and the guy, their goaltender is like one of the best in the world, makes this incredible save. But the puck comes back to our guy. He passes it out to, I believe it was Matthews, and Matthews sees Nyes in the corner of the goal with the net practically open, makes a perfect pass to him, and they score in overtime. And she loses her shit. Of course I did too. And we were just going nuts. And it was a perfect ending to a perfect night. An overtime win. We go up a couple of points, and we drove back. We talked all the way back, and it was just something I'll never forget. It was a lot of fun. It meant a lot to me. We had a lot of fun, and you can see the little short I did. My daughter had taped the last like 30 seconds of the game, and she caught the winning goal, and me jumping around like a damn 15-year-old. But a lot of fun, a lot of fun, and I thought that's why my voice was going, but I'm actually not feeling well, which is great. Hold on, let's read some of the stuff. I wanted to tell you, Rob, that you could still teach painting even though your hand is shaky. You have painting knowledge that people would love to learn. Yeah, I'm going to try to do a little at a time. Yeah, I shake when I paint, and I have arthritis. Yeah, that's what I'm finding I'm starting to have in both hands. So I bought some of those 3D printed paint holders. My son-in-law made me one. I have one. So I can brace both hands against the holder to steady myself. My daughter bought me this magnetic thing that works really, really well. Matthew says, you both look happy. Yeah, we had a great time. We did. Always wanted to treat my son to a hockey game. None close to Kansas City, though. Yeah, it's kind of tough. But you got football. I love hockey. I do. I always have. It's the one sport that you can bring kids to, and you're not going to have that crowd that's disrespectful. There's idiots everywhere, but there were more Maple Leaf fans than Tampa fans, and Tampa's good. Go figure. But the place was virtually sold out, and it was just a great time. Great atmosphere, great stadium. Really enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable. And we had a great time. We had a great time. So that's my hockey story. And then it was her birthday on Friday. So we took her out to dinner. And then yesterday we took her and her friend out to dinner as well. And my wife's not feeling too well. I'm not feeling too well. Typical. But just a great week. So, some of the things I wanted to say. Okay, no, we still got time. Like I said, I'm just checking the time because my son's going live. He's actually working on a Sunday. I have a lot of things going on here, and I'm in this transitional month where I'm getting my feet under me, finding out how I want to do things. This big auction is massive. Okay, some of the stuff that's in here is ridiculous. And I think a lot of you will like what. Do you remember the WizKid terrain? I have 6 feet, almost 6 feet of it. It's a giant painted dungeon. That's a big lot. Okay, There's just a lot of great stuff that I think a lot of you that are really going to enjoy. So, you know, if we're going to do this one, I'm going to reassess things. And then what I'm going to do is probably maybe a small one after this. And then rearrange everything, rebuild the table, and let's just get going. Let's just push forward. And I think that's the way to do it. And we'll see what happens. Hope you feel better, Rob. And maybe within the next 10 years, you will teach me how to paint HeroQuest. You never know, Matthew. You never know. Lightning can strike anywhere. But we no, I'm not going to make you pay. Something. If we get enough Patreon, I love that. If we get enough Patreons, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a painting video. If I do a painting video, I'm just going to do a painting video. Jeez. I know I am being a little shit. No, you're not. Nah. It's just, if I get to it, I get to it. I don't get upset about that stuff. I don't get upset about that stuff. I really don't. But, and I found my old buddy here. So, he was missing for a little bit. My pal. So, my daughter came over with her best friend and her daughter. Her daughter's about 3. So I break them out and I start talking to him. She goes, "Gee, can you put him back up on the table?" She was terrified. My grandkids were terrified of the tiger. I mean, that's just what he is. He's a tiger. Kids are scared of tigers, I think. Ugh, my boy. But it's been a while since he's played a few games, so maybe we'll get him involved in a few things. The main thing is getting everything organized, kind of trying to figure out, where I'm going, what I'm doing, how I'm going to do it. Because the idea is with what's left, I'm going to make sure I play it all. I'm going to make sure that we get it all to the table and we have a great time. And I think that's the best way to do a lot of things. There's some things I'm still arguing with myself over, so I'm trying to figure that mess out. But I'm getting there, and I'm feeling pretty good. And one of the things I'm really arguing with myself is Frostgrave. I have tons of scenery for it. I have a whole painted thing. I have an entire catalog of books. If somebody made me a great offer on all my Frostgrave stuff, I just might let it go. I mean, I have this winter backdrop with all these pieces and things like that, this busted up city and stuff. And, I just don't get it to the table. And I'm just kind of like, I go, if I'm going to play things miniature games that I'm going to get to the table, it's going to be more Mordheim. It's going to be more War Master, Battletech. Those are the type of things that I'm trying to get to the table as far as miniatures are concerned. Really just kind of trying to figure it out. Hi, Rob. I never played Blood Bowl before. Is it easy to learn or is it complicated to understand the rules? Blood Bowl reminds me of a Sega game called Mutant League Football. Classic Sega game. I love Mutant League Football, but Blood Bowl is nothing like that. It is actually 100% better. Is it easy to learn? Not really. Can I teach it? In a heartbeat. Maybe that's one of the first things that we'll do. We'll do a couple, maybe a half of Blood Bowl. I'll play against myself. I'll get some of my painted teams out. Hold on to it. I think anything that has a lot of scenery, your grandkids would love. That's a good point too, Matthew. Thank you. Yeah, I think I can fit something in with Blood Bowl. Once I get this table cleared off, and boy, there's a lot of stuff here. Oh, what's this? Somebody tried to. The founder, the loser fake, invited you to a poker VR tournament. Oh, well, that's nice. I love playing VR poker. Jesus, it's so much fun. So much fun. Yeah, I made some very this auction. You're going to see some very tough decisions I had to make, and how much it bothered me. This one bothers me more than any other one, but there's just things that you got to make a decision with, and you got to say, hey, I'm headed in this direction, and I think it would be cool. I have a Frostgrave warband using Old Glory War of the Roses miniatures. Oh, that's cool, John. No, I got the actual miniatures, and I actually did like a whole crazy thing, which is cool. I went over the top as usual. Painted it all. It's glorious. And I've been kind of, this takes up a lot of room. Should I keep it? That kind of, mindset, I guess. But, I've got beautiful scenery, which will bring tears to your eyes. That's for sure. Well, we'll see. All right. Well, we're at 46. Maybe we'll make this one short. Big auction tomorrow. Ton of videos during the week. Some interesting stuff. We start talking about some of the things that we're keeping and that we're going to showcase on the channel. We're going to be... I got more stuff to tape this week. So I'm really going to kind of pack it in. And then, I've already got the Warhammer Quest playthroughs that we'll work on, that will start featuring in there. And I've got some other things that we're going to do as far as playthroughs that we're going to feature in and tape. And we are going to have a lot of fun going forward. And this is going to be a really good summer for games. I have a feeling. So, stick with me. And those of you that are here, hey, I know the ones that aren't. And, the people that left, they're more than happy to leave. I'm fine with that. But, honestly, I'm really happy where I'm at, because the people that are here now are the ones that want to be here. And that's what's most important. So there you have it. I've got to make a dump run, and then I'm going to take it easy for the day. I'm going to find out what's going on with my PlayStation. Thing. I'll probably activate that today. And then I'm going to take my tank stick out, and I think I'm going to play retro games until my fingers bleed. And I think that sounds like a fun. I'll go on my VR. I'll take a nap. I'm going to take it easy and get ready for a week of getting a lot of things done for the channel and just enjoying things. And, of course, taping. We'll see you tomorrow with the auction, which is pre-taped. That's going to be at 11 o'clock. And then Tuesday we'll be on our morning walk. We'll talk more about that. And then Thursday we'll talk more about it. And then we'll be back Easter morning to talk a little bit. Just wish everybody a happy Easter, those of you that celebrate it. And then, we got videos in between. Just really upping things and enjoying what I'm doing. And that's it seems seamless now. So, a lot better mindset, and really enjoying what I'm doing. So, my dear friends, until next time, it is your old pal Rob saying, we shall see you guys soon. Have a great Sunday, and I will see you during the week.
This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.